Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this rear view mirror and I'm going to take it back. It's a little bit too far into the cabin, so I'm going to cut this and take it back onto this side, I think. So I'm just going to undo these nuts. So in the flash of an eye, from this to, and there you go. That's it shortened down, and it's nice. It's out of the way of the hood up there as well. And you can see basically right through both quarters, rear view, the rear window, everything. Lots of vision. And we've got two wing mirrors as well, but that really is a nice one. So I've cut these down now. You can see that they were obviously that long originally. And these are kind of a generic part. They're made for anything. So if you've got a deeper dashboard or windscreen, this is much further away from you than it would be in a Mini. So basically I just chopped those animal parts off and reshaped them and then painted the ends so they're ready to go in now. We don't need them that long. You kind of get in the way of your helmet when you're in the car. So there you go. That's them ready to go back on again. There you are, Paul. Juice Mini. Looks nice. Even the oranges are the same colour. How good is that? So anybody else who wants to send some stickers, they're more than welcome. So we did a bit of checking. You twat. As you can see from this, these are Mini Sport calipers. I don't know where they're made. They're supposed to be billeted calipers. I guess to make maximum profit, they're probably made in Taiwan or China or somewhere. No disrespect, but you get what you pay for, and labour's cheap in these places. As you know, we changed the discs around. They were on the wrong side, so that's something to be careful of. Make sure the fin's in the right direction. And secondly, these are Mintex 1144 race pads. They're not supposed to be used for the roads. On the road, legally it says not to be used on the road. And they are for this particular caliper, but the problem is they're fairly tight to get in when they're brand new. So I was talking to Max. This is Max from Graz, who's been around Minis for 40 odd years, if not more, and he said they had the same kind of situation with one of their track cars, where because the pads are brand spanking new, there's virtually no movement on the pistons. So these are 4-pot calipers. Now obviously from an engineering point of view, pressure's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's going through a line that's 10 centimeters long or 100 centimeters long. It makes no difference. The pressure is going to be equal. But what does happen when the pads are brand new and they're not worn in, the pistons have got nowhere to retract because it's a very tight fit here. So what we've done is I actually measured to make sure the caliper is central. There is some anomalies. They're not exactly central, but the pistons obviously will take up that little bit of difference. And also the pads, I checked every one of these race pads and none of them are the same depth. I mean, we're talking about a few thou, but even so. So what we did is we've kind of pre-empted bedding them in by taking a very fine file and filing them down just a very small amount, probably, I don't know what we'd taken off it, but maybe 50 or 20 or 80 kilometers off in dust, which should help from them binding. Basically what's happening is they're binding on, it's not so bad on this one, but they're binding on the inside more than they are on the outside. So what's happening is one caliper is releasing a few thou of an inch or with a very tiny distance, and the other one's not, so it's got a leading edge almost, if you like, and it's binding a little bit. And the same on the opposite side, which I can show you, but it's exactly the same caliper. So as I say, what we've done is we've kind of preempted the bedding in period, if you like, and this should obviously hopefully stop the binding. We need to get on the track and check it out anyway. And you can see obviously on this Mini on this track Mini we've got adjustable tyre bars. We have the longer, these are 30mm longer bottom ball joints. These are supposed to give you a better roll centre, a lower roll centre, and obviously adjustable bottom arm as well, which you can see is all in place there. And also adjustable top mountains for the high-lows. and I'll show you when I take the bonnet off. We've got holes drilled in them in the tower bolts, so that we can adjust it while it's on the ground, and the same on the rear, and I'll show you that now. So I'll just grab the front off and I'll show you these front tower bolts, how we've done it. So these are just the normal race clips. When it comes off that side, very light, it's carbon fibre, as you can see. So on the rear valance, you can see obviously the lip's been taken off the rear valance, and you can see we've got these holes in here. This goes directly into the high-low, so that we can adjust it while it's on the ground. So you can actually put your hex bar in there and lift the whole thing up and down without taking the weight off the car. And there's the hex bar inside it there, you can see. And this is exactly the same on the front tower bolts, which I'll show you. So basically we can adjust the ride height on the ground rather than lifting it and maybe disturbing the high-lows, because they do, when they're new, they do have a tendency to fall out if you allow the radius arm to drop down too far. So both of these tower bolts are drilled right the way through, and you can see they've even got a slight chamfer inside them, so it's very easy to drop the rod in and operate it. Same obviously on that side, you can see there. So one of the other jobs we need to do on this now is we've realised I think we're going to need to run a electric fan. So I'll look at car builder solutions and find an electric fan which we can just put on the front here. We'll just make a bracket for it so I can sit right against there, so it'll help the fan push the air through the radiator and suck it out the other side, and we should be in good shape. So yeah, that's how it works. Apparently the Mini 7s and Migleys, I don't know if the Migleys do it, but the Mini 7s have it like this. It was a chap from MED had a video on it, so this is why we've done the same thing. A couple of little extra features we've put in now. As you know, we had this one on the outside, which is the main battery disconnect, which is a live feed to here. But because we didn't want to put too many live wires in the car, what we've done now is, so this one will stay on and can be turned off and turn the power off by, if there was an accident, the car was to roll over or roll on its side, then this one could be turned off by a track marshal or anybody else. And internally we've built this one here, which is basically onto the negative side, so there's no circuit either way. So this is on the negative cable to the battery, and that one is on the positive one there. So basically you can turn this on and you can see that the main light will switch light on there as I turn it on and off. So that's a new one that's been encapsulated there. Also a fire extinguisher, which is easy to get hold of. This won't have a extinguisher that can be pulled from the outside. If we're going to race it, or if we ever get to that point, or we want to do a hill climb, then that's something we'll have to look into, an internal extinguisher system. But that will certainly do the job to get out the car if there's an issue. And of course the mirror, which I'm really happy about now because it's right out the way of the handle. One of the last jobs we've got to do is get some P-clips and put all this into the side and get it all P-clipped up so it's all nice and sorted. And the very last job is we'll take this back off, this sunroof. There was a sunroof in it originally, and then what we'll do is we'll bend this aluminium. It's a very thick aluminium, I think it's like 5mm, or maybe 3mm. And what we'll do is we'll bend these ends because it needs to be pressed down. You can see it's too flat there, and we'll push each end down so that there's no, so in fact it's like that. It's actually flush all the way along, but it needs a bend in it, and we can't bend it in place. We can't lift it high enough to do that. So that'll be one of the last jobs, and yeah, there we are. So Hope you enjoyed the video, and as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.